In case you didn't already know it, by now you've no doubt come to realize that making even a small change in your eating habits takes both courage and a heck of a lot of perseverance. Well, before we move on to big picture changes, here's where we take a breather to celebrate our small victories and reframe our fails. If you're anything like me, you tend to minimize your successes. I had a lot of help cooking all this healthy food, and dwell on the fails. I only managed to say no to my chocolate craving 1 night out of 7. I'm such a loser. Well, how about reversing the paradigm? Instead of minimizing our successes, let's maximize and celebrate them. Instead of viewing failures as paralyzing catastrophes, let's view them as one-off incidents from which we can learn, grow, and move on. Perhaps we can even redefine what we mean by failure anyway. For instance, did you manage to cook dinner for yourself, even if it wasn't every single day like you'd planned? Did you put in half a spoon less sugar in your morning coffee? Or have a healthy snack instead of a sugary one? Celebrate. The second part is to reframe the areas that you might call failures. Here, some cognitive restructuring can be extremely valuable. Cognitive restructuring helps us nix distorted thoughts that hinder our progress. Suppose your goal for your small eating habit change was to not indulge in your customary, well-earned chocolate bar at the end of a hard day's work. Well, most evenings this week, you just couldn't say no. Your gut response might be, why do I even bother trying to change how I eat? I always fail. I'm just not made for this. But hold up. Let's pause and put things in perspective. True, you didn't meet your goal entirely, but does that mean you're a loser who is forever doomed to fail? In fact, does it say anything at all about your value as a human being? The answer is a resounding no. Once you realize this is not a game-changing catastrophe, but an isolated moment, you enable yourself to celebrate partial successes, like the 2 nights that you did hold back, whoop whoop, or the evenings when it took all your willpower and then some. But you managed to leave over a couple of squares instead of devouring the whole bar. Go you. Once you've accepted this new perspective, you can also start recalibrating your plan. Maybe for next time, you'll decide to shrink the size of the goal, shooting for only 3 nights out of the week, or for having half a bar instead of a whole one every night. You can almost imagine that you hold 2 types of lenses in your hand: a magnifying glass with which to view your successes, and a minimizing one for things that don't go so well. Just remember to use the right lens for the right situation. Magnifying your successes and minimizing your fails will empower you on your journey towards improved eating habits.